Hi, my name is John Michael, and in collaboration with Cody Hodges, we did our Law 2150 project on Bitcoin and cybercurrency. We will be exploring ideas about Bitcoin, its run-ins with the law, and how it is impacting business and society. Firstly, we must ask ourselves, what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a digital currency that is derived from algorithms and computer data. Essentially, this means you can walk away from your computer and leave it running while it mines data and information. In this day and age, people are willing to pay a handsome price for information. This is why, at a fundamental level, Bitcoin has value to begin with. But while it has real monetary value, it cannot be accessed in the physical realm. To get cash, you would have to perform an exchange or sell the Bitcoin. Although more and more websites and online retailers are moving towards being able to use it in its raw form as a substitute for real money. We'll talk a little more about that in the next slide. But for some, this currency is posing more problems than it is finding solutions. Many skeptics have raised interesting questions, like how will we tax it? How will we regulate it? Is it legal to tax and regulate? And are any laws being drafted or enacted to govern currency of this nature? Controversy has caused a schism involving Bitcoin in the business world. Late September of this year would prove too perilous for a company named Butterfly Labs when they were shut down by the Western Missouri U.S. District Court. This after complaints began to surface about their Bitcoin mining products, which led to an investigation by the Federal Trade Commission. Though despite these incidents, some companies are choosing to embrace the notion of cybercurrency. For instance, PayPal announced this year that they would now be accepting Bitcoins as a form of viable currency. Giant online retailer Newegg is also getting on board with this trend, as it has elected to start accepting Bitcoins as payment for its merchandise. A historic case for future law books, known as the Silk Road case, will read something like something out of a Hollywood script. Everything from money laundering to drug trafficking to conspiracy to commit murder are just a small part of a very long list of other felonies that compose this litigation. Bitcoin was used in this situation to launder money and transactions from a website used as an international drug smuggling underground market. The reasoning behind using Bitcoin was probably because of its anonymity. Laundering their profits from the Silk Road site allowed those involved to operate in some degree in a veil of secrecy. Bitcoin's problem then was that transaction routes were basically unidentifiable, leaving federal investigators with an unknown number of potential transactions that could have taken place. That fact alone struck a nerve among some in the law community that would leave a bad taste in their mouth with regards to Bitcoin. News circles of people calling for the outlawing of Bitcoin have cited the Constitution and historical acts passed by the government as a reason to do away with cybercurrency. The Constitution delegates the duty of printing, maintaining, and regulating currency to the federal government. It could be argued that the government has a monopoly on creating money, though if history is any indicator, it is likely that the U.S. will not pursue other private currencies, so long as they adhere to the laws and do not pose a direct threat to federal tender. Things like the Stamp Act of 1862 make this a very complex subject matter. The Stamp Act is the banner being waved by many who wish to see cybercurrency declared unconstitutional. A problem persists because of a part of the Stamp Act which outlines that anyone who circulates or pays out private currency less the sum of $1 is in violation of the law. The penalties for this include prosecution, a fine, and possibly imprisonment, adding to the giant gray area that is Bitcoin in the law.
My name is Cody Hodges, and I'll be with you for the remainder of the presentation. Bitcoin and money laundering. Money laundering is the process in which dirty money becomes clean money. Once clean, the money can be used for legal transactions. Currencies such as Bitcoin are very appealing to those who wish to launder money, as it is fast and processed over the internet. FinCEN is one organization who has put anti-money laundering policies into place. Bitcoin and commodity. When looking at Bitcoin as a commodity, one must realize that it is not tangible and is very volatile, unlike other commodities such as the US dollar. Many worry that once software developers cease to quit developing Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining, that the value of Bitcoin will drop drastically. Another reason for volatility is that Bitcoin does not receive backing from the government or other large organizations. Bitcoin and the law. The illustration to the right depicts market value of Bitcoin from August 2012 to July 2013. You can clearly tell that Bitcoin prices vary from dollars to hundreds of dollars. Reuben Greenberg, a lawyer from Yale University, was one of the first people to investigate Bitcoin. Greenberg's primary issues with Bitcoin are volatility. Greenberg doesn't see Bitcoin being a major source of currency due to this fact. Bitcoin is a viable form of currency for illegal activity because of its anonymous and decentralized, meaning there are limited ways for criminals to get caught. Bitcoin and the economy. Joshua Kroll, Ian Davey, and Edward Fitton are all economists from Princeton University, which take similar outlooks on Bitcoin. Once again, the three worry about the stability of Bitcoin. They argue that all major forms of currency, such as the US dollar and even the euro, may fluctuate, but they are not nearly as volatile as Bitcoin. Therefore, they do not see Bitcoin as being as successful as the other major currencies. Other economic issues with Bitcoin lie within the mining of Bitcoins. It has become common practice to form cartels, or groups of people to mine Bitcoins. This creates a problem as it is possible for a group or cartel to control the market of Bitcoin, somewhat seen as a monopoly. The bottom line is that in order for Bitcoin to stay around, is that there needs to be more checks and balances. In conclusion, Bitcoin is still in the innovative stages and has become an option for payment, but has not done so without many doubts from people. As markets expand, there will be more options for investment. In order for Bitcoin to become an option for investment, it will have to become a more stable currency. Cybercurrency is the path to the future. New laws will have to be enacted along with more agencies stepping up to the plate to monitor the situation. Remember, everything changes, nothing stays the same. And that's Bitcoin and the law. Here are our works cited for content and our works cited for pictures. Thank you for listening.